welcome to the I Ching Cafe. My name is Belinda Dubston and this is our weekly I Ching overview for the week commencing the 21st of February 2022. Goodness me, here we are. February's a short month, so let's make the best of it. If you haven't yet done so, go and watch the monthly overview for February. We are now moving into the latter part of February's overview into Hexagram 61, Centered Truth. Being open to seeing things in a new way, letting the truth flow through to you like a hot knife through butter. So go and check out the monthly overview if you haven't yet done so. Last week we had a locked hexagram. We had hexagram 32 duration. And that was all about understanding the marathon that we are running and developing our capacity to endure, to persist, to be consistent, to be persistent, and to keep showing up every day. So what was the awareness that came to you last week about an area where endurance is the thing? I mentioned last week the secret sauce. Where is that endurance and that marathon-like approach, the thing that's going to get you to your goals and to get to somewhere meaningful in this month? So go and check out last week if you haven't yet done so. So this week, what do we have? Well, for a second week in a row, we have another locked hexagram. Things are quite stable in February despite the lots of activity that's happening around us. Quite interesting to have two locked hexagrams in a row. As I mentioned before, a locked hexagram is no changing lines. So when I cast the coins, I didn't get any sixes or nines. I only got 8s and 7s, right? So more about that at another time. So no changing lines, right? Very locked, very fixed, asking us to double down on the focus for this week. There's no outcome hexagram, no changing lines. This is it. This is the energy and the flow that is coming to build us up, that is coming to support us in our development this week. And this week, our hexagram is hexagram 9, the small tames or the small accumulates. And this is the story of how the small things done well, accumulated over time, can create massive value for us. This week, we are being asked to pay attention to the small things. And I was thinking about the movie, if you've seen it, Wag the Dog. It's quite an important movie if we go back and rewatch it at this time. In our cultural context, there are so many things where the tail wags the dog, where it's social media, whether it's politics, whether it's whatever is going on. There's a lot of things where the way that we think is being influenced by the tail. Okay, so quite interesting. Go and watch the movie again if you can't remember it. And so this week, when I think about the small tames or the small accumulates, I think about the tail wagging the dog. We are the dog, right? We are the bigger, entity, right? And we've got this tail that is creating our flow this week. And so this week is all about the small stuff. If we see the small stuff as a beautiful gift that we just attend to each one, we unlock the value of the week. We accumulate great things because we care and nourish and look after every small detail. If we see the small stuff as riff-raff and it's not important, it's the big picture, the big bold vision that is important this week, we're going to get reminded that no, the small things can bring you to your knees. Okay, so with all these hexagrams, there's the path of the master or the superior person. If you read the text, you'll see that. The path of the master. And then there's the path of the not master, okay? And we can choose how we want to step into this flow of change. That's the beauty of what this I Ching and this hexagram brings us this week. It gives us a strategy and it says you've got two choices or 3 or 4 choices with 2 main trends. You can go the path of the master or the path of the not master. Up to you. The path of the not master this week is to ignore the small things, to see them as petty, and to not have a way of managing the fact that this week might be an onslaught of small things, an onslaught of details, an onslaught of lots of things to pay attention to. The path of the master says, if I give each little thing its precious energy, if I nurture each thing as if it was the most important thing in the world, what happens is I accumulate great things because each thing has been taken care of. It is like the idea of the farmer. You've heard me talk about the farmer analogy with this hexagram before. Think about all your trees, right? You've got a whole orchard of trees, cherry trees, apple trees, orange trees. You pick what's your favorite fruit. And every single tree requires something, and something slightly different. The soil slightly different, or the wind, or the elements. And so the farmer then looks after every single tree. And what happens is we accumulate a beautiful harvest because every tree has got what it needs. When you stand back and you look at the whole orchard, you lose sight of the wood for the trees, right? You lose sight of what every little item needs in that basket of goodies. So this week, our attention is being drawn to every little thing in the basket. Every little thing needs its care and attention and needs your love, okay? Whether it's in your team or whether it's in your personal life. As that thing comes onto your dashboard, put it down, write it down, and give it its attention, all right? Try not to make decisions of priority based on the whole picture, the bigger picture. Give everything what it needs. And so accumulating into something amazing as a result. So this week, our attention will be sucked into the small stuff, and that's okay. It's amazing with the I Ching that we get this information to help us pay attention to what's really important. What are we asked to focus on to maximize the week? And this week, it's the beautiful little small details that want to give us an accumulated greatness because we looked after each little precious thing. So that's the week. Locked hexagram, short and sweet. Wishing you an amazing week as you focus on those precious little things and you let them accumulate. You let your little finger, all right? You let your little finger tell you how the world is going to work this week, and you let that tail wag, wag, wag. Okay, so good luck. And if you're not yet subscribed, it'd be great if you could subscribe and join us on the regular. I'll see you on the socials, and don't forget to go and watch that February overview. And I look forward to seeing you soon at our next weekly overview.